Hey guys, this is Void Raven 5829, and today I wanted to talk to you about why I like to play orcs, um, in fluff or in the store, on the table, and just in general, why I like the vibe of the army. So, first things first, I I like the idea of that they're the big bad evil menace uh, to the galaxy. Besides the Tyranids, but they were the first ones. They were the countless, numberless horde that could just bear down on a planet and never fully be defeated because of the fungal spores and everything like that and how they reproduce. They're just an unstoppable horde, provided that they have the right leadership. And that leads me to another point that I really like about the orcs, is that, um, excuse me, not that they're stupid, but the fact that they're so unorganized that you can create a force on the tabletop or in your own personal headcanon or stories or anything. You can make an army of orcs that have just about anything. You know, um, I have a friend who he had an army of orcs that the war boss found an old copy of The Empire Strikes Back and he watched it, and all like the orc boss watched it, and all of his boys watched it, and everything like that. And so he started calling himself Defaveda. And then I think he had a weird boy that he just called the Emperor. Um, or he had some funny names, and it was a Star Wars themed orc army. Like all the our boys had white Imperial armor, um, and like I think his flyers were TIE fighters, and it was just really silly and just great. And then my orc army, it's all of my vehicles and all the things that I loot. They're all things from the armies that I face in my meetup group. I've looted the vehicle from almost every army. Excuse me, except for Imperial Guard Chimeras. Excuse me, or Space Marine Rhino chassis. I have two Devilfish, or excuse me, I have a Devilfish. I have Falcons from Thar. Excuse me, I have Necron Ghost Arc. It's good fun, and I like the creative openness about orcs. Is that your custom mega cannon doesn't have to look like a plasma cannon. It can look like just a regular huge cannon with like wires and cables coming off of it, and it doesn't have to be standardized like Space Marine Army does. You could have 3 looted wagons, all with kill cannons, and be completely different chassis, be completely different gun barrel. It could just be a rack of missiles that the orcs just all light at the same time and have drop down, to create the blast. Um, so I really like the creativity that can go into an orc army, and just the hints of vast intelligence you can get, that orcs can occasionally show, like how a Big Mac can turn a couple of pieces of scrap into a stompa. Just that, and they were previously like a Night Titan and a couple of rhinos, and they just throw enough bolts on it, paint it red, and call it a stompa, and lo and behold, it's a stompa. I also like orcs because they go along well with my armies, with my Iron Warriors, and they go along well as the cannon fodder that Iron Warriors use, but necessarily don't have access to because they don't have worlds, maybe or maybe not, to recruit humans from. You know, they're just good mercenaries, and all they want is a good fight. You know, they're not gonna stab you in the back. They're not gonna betray you like Eldar. They're not gonna just, you know, say no and kill you anyway. Well, they might, but you know, they're not gonna trick you usually, unless unless you're dealing with a Morker. Orcs are very straightforward, and the army, surprisingly, though it looks straightforward on the surface, it can be a very complex interaction of pieces. You know, like there is hidden synergy in the army. You know, you do have to dig for it, and you have to find other source books, but there is synergy that can really help stabilize the army. For example, I have a Big Mac on a bike, and I use the Mega Force Field from the Gaz book. You know, it's a 4+ custom force field, 6-inch bubble. Everything gets an invuln save, and I use that, you know, as an excuse to field trucks. You know, the things that, you know, die if something sneezes at them. Because I'm ignoring effectively half the shots that go into me. And I've gone up against a Tau player at our meetup, and laugh every time I play against him, because his turn 1, he throws his missile sights, he throws all of his plasma guns, he just throws everything he possibly can at my trucks, and maybe glances a couple of them. Or shakes a couple of them. It really doesn't. He gets so frustrated in a good way, you know, in a way that it's not like, oh my god, I'm facing down a wolf star and it's invisible and this and this and that. It's a 4+ invuln save on paper, on like wet tissue paper vehicles. All right, like I'm not the kind of guy that, you know, plays like the most broken cheese I can. You know, I play for fun. Anyway, so that's, I forgot what number I'm on, but that's another point, is the hidden synergy of playing within the Orc Codex itself. Another fun thing is being the fun player. You know, like everybody, you know, like I'm not sure everybody, I'm pretty sure I scarred this guy, but everybody likes playing against Orcs because they're just in for a good fight. It's not like you don't have to play attrition. You don't have to scheme on or like you don't have to try. It's not a hard puzzle to figure out how to defeat Orcs or how to play against them adequately. I mean, they're fairly simple. They don't have stacking special rules out the wazoo. They're just really fun opponents that you can laugh with. And like, if something ludicrous happens where like an Orc Knob, like I had this happen. I had an Orc Knob with a Power Claw take on a Ravenwing command squad and win with 1 wound left because he's made a 6+ save. And the Power Claw just snipped right through everybody. It was insane. Like, my opponent could barely believe it, but you know, we both looked at each other and just laughed our asses off because of how crazy that kind of thing is. I mean, if any of you have played the Space Marine video game, where, you know, with Captain Titus and everything like that, that actually is a good representation of how Orcs work. You know, and like how durable they are. Like, sorry, tangent. Anyway, it's fun to be the bad guy with a good humor. You know, you're not being a Saturday morning cartoon villain like Chaos has turned into, where it's like, oh, my evil plan. No, it's just the general bad guy that everybody likes to poke fun at. You know. So I think I've rambled on a little bit too long, but that's why I like Orcs, is that they're just a good-humored, good-natured army that isn't broken. You know, it's not gonna win tournaments, sure, unless you use like I forgot his name. It's not gonna win tournaments unless you like absolutely, you know, your dice just absolutely love you that day. But at the same time, you're not necessarily going to die every time. And there are so many different builds you can do. It's just such a flexible army without being too stupid and unbalanced internally. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening. I hope I've inspired somebody to, like, think about starting orcs, maybe. I don't know, but orcs are really fun, and I really wish I knew another orc player so I could have an orc versus orcs game. I mean, that would just be so much fun. Alright, rant over, tangent over, whatever. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.